So then it hit me. I'm like, oh, you're the reason why I've had so many problems today. Hey everyone! So today I'm going to be doing a storytime video. I'm just going to share about the time that I got denied access because of my service dog. So this all happened last summer, the summer of 2019. And I had just got done from a long day of lifeguarding in the hot sun. Now Dallas doesn't go to my work with me while I'm lifeguarding outside. It's too hot for her, and I'm no longer able to lifeguard outside in the hot sun because it's too hot for me due to my POTS condition. But in my town, there is a festival every summer, and you can go and sit and listen to music and play games and eat food. It's really fun. It's outdoors. It's at a park. But after work, I was invited to go to the festival with a friend, and I asked her, like, hey, is it alright if I bring my service dog with me? And of course, her being the awesome friend she is, was like, yeah, I don't mind. So I went home from work and I got myself ready to go to the festival. I got Dallas ready to go to the festival, and I met my friend and we drove to the river festival. Now, Dallas was still pretty young. This was last year, so she was about 1, and she was trained in some tasks that she did perform. She was very well versed in public access and obedience training. She had already gone to school with me the year before because my administration is awesome, and they said that it would be fine if I brought Dallas to school in training, so that was great. But Dallas did qualify under the ADA as a service dog. So when we got there, we parked and we started to walk up to the gates of the park, and we showed them our little button thing saying that we bought our button and we can go in. And the security guard doesn't say anything to me, and she stops and holds her hand out and just stops me. And she gets on her walkie-talkie and says, "Our service dog in training allowed?" And the guy replied, "No, only service dogs who are fully trained can come in." And she said, "That's what I thought." And she looked at me and said, "You can't bring that dog in here." Now, Dallas did have in training patches on. I did not at the time have regular service dog patches. If you watched my service dog 101 video, you would know that service dogs don't have to be labeled, so it shouldn't matter what her patches say. I thought that it would be better to have service dog in training patches on rather than nothing. So I politely explained this to the lady, that they don't have to be labeled, that she is trained in tasks, and she does qualify under the ADA as a service dog. So the lady said, okay, I just need to see her certification paperwork. So I immediately was like, oh, great. I told her, I said, I'm sorry, there's no such thing as certification or paperwork in the United States. I can't provide that for you. And she looked at me and said, well, I see people bring their service dogs in here and they have certifications, so you should too. And I said, I don't have a certification, I'm sorry. They don't need them. There's no such thing in America as a service dog certification. And she wasn't going to let me in. I was going to have to either leave and not come back, or take my dog home and then come back. And I wasn't about to do that. And my teacher luckily came up behind me and she said, this is a trained service dog. It goes to school with Brianna every day, and it's really well behaved. We have other dogs at the school and it doesn't react to the other dogs. It's a great dog. So then all of a sudden, that changed everything. The lady was like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you can go in. And I was like, really? You wouldn't let me in when I was trying to explain that to you, but now that an adult explains it to you, I can come in? I don't know. That was kind of I just felt like maybe she just didn't think I needed a service dog because I was a young, healthy looking kid, or that she just didn't believe me because I was a kid. I don't know. So it was good that we got to go in, although it was really frustrating and embarrassing standing there holding up the line, getting yelled at by a security guard saying that my dog can't come in. That was really embarrassing, and it really ruined the mood. I was really excited to go there. So we got in and we met up with some friends and we were having a good time. And every single security guard that we passed were asking me for my papers. And I had to tell every single one, I'm sorry, I don't have papers. There is no such thing. I can't provide them for you. It's illegal for you to ask for that. And they all got so mad at me. And there was one security guard, and he was on one of those like little drive cart things. I don't know what they're called, but he like drove it straight up to me and Dallas, scaring Dallas. I thought he like was coming at us. Like I thought he was gonna hit us, and then he slams on his brakes and he tells me, you'd better have paperwork or you can't be here. I need the paperwork in case your dog does something to prove that it's a service dog. And I'm like, if my dog does anything that shows that she's not a service dog, as like biting somebody or going nuts and harming another dog, papers shouldn't matter. Like, papers shouldn't magically make that okay, because that's not right. I told him, I said, I don't have papers, I'm sorry, blah blah blah, like I told everyone else, and he was just so mean. But I found out why they kept wanting my papers, and it's because all day they had been getting people coming in with their pets, showing them their registration and certification paperwork that they had bought online, and their little vests that they had bought online, and bringing their dogs in. So that's why they expected it from me. So that's a prime example of why fake service dogs make the life of a real service dog handler a lot harder than it should be. And I tried my best to educate them, and they didn't do anything. I tried to show them the 88 cards, and they didn't want to see them. They refused to look at them. They'd already seen them before. But I was walking with my friend, and a couple came running up to pet Dallas. They did not even acknowledge me before they started to pet my dog. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, you can't pet her, please don't distract her, she's working. And they kind of looked at me like they were really surprised that they couldn't pet her. And that's okay, I get that a lot. But they then told me that they had brought their service dog with them. Flag number one, a service dog can't be for two people. They said it was both of their service dogs. So I was kind of like, okay, whatever. And then they were like already petting my service dog. So if you have a service dog, you would know not to run up and start petting another service dog without even asking. You probably wouldn't even ask to pet another service dog, honestly. But oh well, I was gonna let it go. And they told me that they had brought it with them and they were playing frisbee with it and they got kicked out. I was like, if your dog's a service dog and it's in an unpet friendly environment, it should be working. It shouldn't be playing frisbee. But I didn't say that. I just kind of was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Because I had already had a rough day. I didn't want to argue with anyone else. Then they told me that when they tried to kick him out, it was because it wasn't wearing a vest. Now, service dogs don't have to wear vests, so that shouldn't be a reason to kick a service dog out. Although their dog was not working, it was playing frisbee. And then they said that they tried to show them their paperwork. So then it hit me. I'm like, oh, you're the reason why I've had so many problems today. Is because you're showing them this fake papers that they expect to see from me too. I was just not having it. It was not a fun time. But this year, the River Festival got closed down due to coronavirus. So I was excited to go again, and I was hoping that I wouldn't have another problem, but you know, I don't think I would, because now I have regular service dog patches. So I hope that this was kind of an interesting and educational video for you to watch. Thank you for watching. Bye.